I was struck as the lessons were being read, that they read this way. It was meant for you. Understand that? Not for anybody else. Just you guys. And I thought, why is that? Why is it directed here? And I was told earlier that this is where the rich people were here. The less rich were here. And the poor were up here, which meant you guys had to hear it so that you would give more. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So look out. Look out. I thought it was really amazing. It wasn't facing anywhere. And even the pulpit is facing you too. It's amazing. The priest didn't even look at the rest of you, just this side, this part of the church. What? So it's very fascinating. I mean, at least at Gruden, the pulpit is, the priest is looking more at everybody else, but not here. It's really directly at you. So, anyway, the disciples in this story have come back from a mission trip, and they are exhausted, they're tired, and they're frustrated, they're angry, they're worn out because they've been preaching the word and they've failed. Nobody has paid any attention. They had hoped that people would hear the good news. Nobody really heard the good news. And so Jesus was off the shore, not just speaking to the crowds, but also just speaking to the disciples about the difficulty of the message. And so he spoke to them in parables. A parable is a dangerous language. It's a language that will cause transformation if you pay attention to it. It will change you if you allow it. As he says, if you have ears, listen, pay attention, listen. But even we live in a time when we don't listen. We live in a time when we don't pay attention. We live in a time in which God has gone because he means very little to our culture and probably means very little to us. Matter of fact, the problem with Christian faith is that it's totally free. It's so free, it means nothing to us. You know, one of my parishes years ago, I remember a woman, she gave so much of herself to the parish, gave so much. When it came time to tithe, when it came time to give, she says, I give $4. Very wealthy woman. Very wealthy woman. And she was a lovely woman. I loved her. Loved her and her husband. They were wonderful people. Could never figure it out. Except to realize that we had a very, very nice trust fund. It kept everybody from giving what they should have been giving, which meant that they were not, kept them from committing themselves, really. It was not a good thing for us to have a trust fund, but it kept her from really fully committing herself. But I could never understand why someone as loving as she was, and somebody who cared so much about people would not give enough so that we could do something for people. So anyway, that's beside the point. The point is that serving God comes only if you were able to hear Him. It doesn't come by thinking good thoughts. It doesn't come by doing good deeds. It comes by hearing what God is saying to you. Prayer, matter of fact, prayer is not talking to God. Prayer is not speaking to God. Prayer is not saying, God, what do I need? Or what does this parish need? Or God, this is what I think the parish needs. Or God, what can we do? You listen to God, and God will tell you what the parish needs. God will tell you what you need to do. But you have to listen to him. He's the one that's talking to you all the time. But in order to do that, you have to live in total silence. You have to pay attention to him before you can decide what it is you plan to do. You have to listen, and that's the first and most difficult thing. Just like a seed falling on the ground is silent. So Jesus tells this parable, and he says, the sower comes along, and he tosses a seed. He tosses not just seed, he's a wasteful God. He throws it all on the ground. Every bit of it. He doesn't care where it falls. He throws as much seed on the ground as he possibly can. He throws it all on the ground. He doesn't care whether it falls on the trodden path. He doesn't care whether it falls on rocky ground. He doesn't care whether it falls on thorny ground. He doesn't care whether it falls on good ground. He doesn't care at all. Very unlike a farmer. Farmer would have made sure the briars were gone, made sure the rocks were gone, made sure it was all packed. It was all ready. It was already tilled, and the ground was already ready for planting. God doesn't care. He just throws it. That's it. Just throws it. So what is this about the trodden path? What happens? The seed falls on a trodden path, and it doesn't plant. The ground's too hard. So the birds come, and they just eat it right up and take it away. Well, why is it so hard? Years ago, I had two little mission churches in Georgia, in Missouri, and in Missouri I also was a juvenile officer, and I had a lawyer who was assisting me in court most often, and one day he pulled me aside, and he says, Tom, he said, you have to worry about one thing only. You're all going to have to excuse my French, but this is what he said to me. He said, you have to watch one thing only, and you're going to have to worry about those people who are as good as hell. You have to watch out for those people who are as good as hell, because those people who are as good as hell are those people who know they're so righteous that they will never, they're just so good. They know they're so good that they don't need anything. They don't need anything. They don't need God's grace. They don't need anything from anybody because they have everything that they need. They don't need to be forgiven. They don't need anything. They are just there, and they know that they are right. They know that they are right. So there's no place within them, there's no place of brokenness within them, or at least there's no brokenness within them that they will acknowledge. There's no place within them that provides a place of hospitality for God to enter. If there's no place for hospitality, for God to find a home within those people, then there's no place for the plant to grow. And if there's no place for the plant to grow, then let the birds have the seed. Let the birds enjoy the good news. It is a plant, it can't grow in the hard, tough, trodden soil. And there are many, many people like that, who are so righteous, so good, what's weird is there are even Christians like that. That's just what the strange thing is. I've been reading a book by Søren Kierkegaard. I hope all of you get a chance to read Kierkegaard. He's a Danish Christian. He says that the problem with Christianity, is that we were all baptized as children. The problem with being baptized as children is that we're all baptized. Therefore, we're all Christian. He says if we're all Christian, but how do we know we're Christian? Well, the only way we know we're Christian is go to the parish register. Check it out. Go in the church, ask to see the parish register, and you'll see that you were baptized. That's the only way you know you're Christian. You don't know you're Christian any other way. He's got a point. How else do you know you're Christian other than going to the parish register and finding out that you were baptized on such and such a day? He says, it's harder to be a Christian when you're baptized than it is when you're not baptized. Because when you're not baptized, then you can move toward becoming a Christian. But when you're already a Christian, how do you become a Christian? That's his whole argument. Good question. So he talks about that whole issue about how do you become soft enough to allow God to work within you. And then there are seeds on the ground, on thorny ground, thorny ground. And these plants try to grow, but they can't. The ground is only covered with a very thin layer of dirt and their rocks, and they only grow just a little bit, and then something bad happens. Something awful happens. So you run into somebody in the parish you don't like, or something happens outside the parish, somebody you don't like, and you leave, or somebody in the parish who's been there a long time leaves, or something happens, but there's always some kind of tension, or some kind of crisis, or some kind of something. Instead of working out differences, instead of working out and trying to find reconciliation, or trying to find some way of managing. Or the other possibility would be taking everybody for granted. One of the biggest problems with parish communities is we take people for granted. Oh, I know Susie for 50 years. She'll always be that way. She'll never change. She's just that way. She'll always be that way. She'll never change. Instead of thinking, God still has work to do. God can change that person. We have this tendency to always think a person will never change. Instead of thinking, let God have control of her. So we don't trust God enough to get into a situation and do something. So we let the thorns take over.